Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Let's get into some analysis. Let's turn that on. All right, so let's start off with GJ. I'm just going to take a look at weekly levels. So this is previous weekly candle here, previous weekly low, previous weekly high. So we're just going to mark that in real quick. All right, so we got previous weekly high, and we've also got previous weekly low. All right, so that's last week's candle right there. Closed bearish, respected previous weekly high and broke previous weekly low. Closed nice and bearish, but this week we have continued to pull back. Right, we're in this pullback phase one, and we are kind of in this uptrend, right? So if I was to just go like this, we can see that we have created a nice uptrend here. And we have this trend line. So this week we haven't continued the trend to the downside. We've just been on this pullback phase, and price hasn't really done much, even though we have been trending bullish and moving up. It's been in very small movements, and not like any kind of extended movements like this one to the downside, right? It's just kind of been slow and steady pullback. So if we just mark in these weekly levels from the 30 minute right here, so this is weekly low, we're just going to go to that, we're just going to send that to back. All right, so that's our weekly low. We can see that this week, this is the new week right here. We can see that the new weekly candle pull back, tested, rejected, and then we've had this move to the upside, right? And then if I come in here up top, I doubt we're going to see these levels touched now at this point this week, unless we see a big rally today of you know, like 250 pips, which it can do. All the news is out the way now for the week. We've just had retail sales here per pound, so yeah, not too worried about any news coming in. So that's the weekly, right? Weekly highs, weekly lows, and we've come here now and tested on these weekly lows at the start of the week and bounced off. So now moving on, we have right here we have Trinity phase 1, right? So Trinity phase 1 coming in right here, that we have now broken, and we are retesting, right? And now coming down, we have Trinity phase 2. So we've got phase 1 and phase 2. right? And we respected that phase one, and now we've moved up recently, yesterday, and we broke phase one this morning here. So we had this overall trend to the downside, and we've now broken out of that trend. If we have a look, just by drawing a simple trend line, right? You can see boom, 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 rejection, broke out, retested, and now we're starting this new trend to the upside. So now the fact that we broke Trinity phase level 1 here, and also if we go to daily, these are our daily candles now. If we go to daily, we can see that right here. What just happened? Right, we can see right here. Here's our daily phase 1. We have retested. And let's mark that in. We've got daily phase 2 and Trinity phase 1 levels that have been broken. And then we have daily phase, we have daily levels down here. Right here. Right. So now, to me, this is saying that price is now continuing to the upside, right? Trend is continuing. We're following the daily time frame, and we've also broke the Trinity phase level 1, which would indicate then a break to the upside or a change in direction, a break of structure on the higher time frames, right? So because that is getting in the way, we're just going to bring this over here like this, and we're just going to bring that down. We're just going to put that in there like that, right? So we've got our Trinity phase levels and our daily phase 2, which would indicate trend continuation at this point. So essentially we broke above this resistance, and now we're retesting. So looking at today here on GJ, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We are retesting this level. So what we could see now is price potentially reject this level and starting to move bullish again, right? And then we could look for something maybe above this level right here for buyers, right? So that is now our most recent resistance. And so we can look out for a breakout of this, right? So if we just go in here, we got 166.844. Right. So that is what I'd be looking at today. Buys above 166.844 here on GJ. And then of course we do have this trend. I do not trade trend lines. I just have them there as like an, a reminder, like, this is currently in the uptrend. If we do start breaking this trend and we do break daily phase 1 over here down at 165.196 today, then we could potentially see that direction change, right? We could see that break in structure, and then pound yen could start selling off back down into weekly lows, Trinity phase 2 levels. But ideally what I'd want to see now is a pop above this level and then a break or continuation to the upside, where I will look for a trade. So I'm just going to set a quick reminder there, just above that level, so that while I'm analyzing these other pairs, if it does come up into this level, then I will be notified. So there we have it on GJ. buys above 166844. Moving on to Euro USD. Let's get rid of that. Just obviously taking a quick look at this. It's not the prettiest, right? We can all agree with that this price action here since, you know, the start of the week hasn't been pretty on Euro USD. But anywho, let's get to the analysis. So we've got weekly highs that we can lock in right here, right? And we can just mark that in with our levels, right? Lock that. So this is weekly highs, right? And weekly lows are all the way down here. We don't need to worry about those. So on first looks, we can see like currently today we've played around this weekly high level and we have now rejected it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejection wicks leading, and this is also pre-London volume now, right? So now we have some pre-London volume coming in. We can see this big bullish engulfing candle here on the 30-minute. This previous candle has rejected that weekly high and we're bouncing off it, right? And we could potentially see something similar to what has happened here. And here we bounced, rejected, move up, bounce, rejected, move up. So that is the weekly high that we are currently at, and we're bouncing off. We're seeing some volume coming in. If we take a look at the Trinity phase levels, we can see if we mark this is phase 2, of course, not daily. This is Trinity phase 2, and also we have Trinity phase 1 down here. Where's Trinity phase 2? Sorry, Trinity phase 1. So as well, this indicates that price is on the weekly and on the Trinity phase. We can see that price is overall bullish, which that is what it's showing us, right? We've got lows and we've got highs. We've got weekly highs that have been broken and weekly lows obviously down here that have been respected. So overall, higher time frame is showing more bullishness than bearishness, right? But if we take a look at the daily, I did see this yesterday. We do have daily candles right here, right? So we can see ever since Friday the 11th, we've had this uptrend where we've broke highs and respected lows, broke highs, respected lows. And now we have yesterday respected highs and broke daily lows down here. So that would mean that now price has broke structure to the downside. If we went like this would be daily phase 1, which would be break of structure, as you can see BOS right here. And yesterday it did come down, break it, and now we are pulling back. But what is interesting now is that we have broke above weekly highs, previous weekly highs, and we've retested and we've rejected, right? And we're starting to push up. So obviously we have yesterday's candles, which would now be daily phase 1 right here, which would be break of support at this point, break of structure, sorry. And we have daily phase 2 down here for trend continuation, moves to the downside. So at this point, we've got to see what happens, right? So price could come up into this, into daily phase 1 right here without breaking the high, the absolute high of 1.04068. We are fine then for continuation south to the downside, right? Down into daily phase 2, Trinity phase 1, potentially to finish off this move. But of course, if we do break and close above here, then that is a break of structure. And then we will obviously be looking at Monday to see what happens if we get that trend continuation above this level, maybe a retest, something like that, or maybe just a straight breakout of this level to the upside, right? But again, you know, like I said at the start, weekly Trinity phase is bullish. So if we are testing on this and we do break above this level, then it's likely that we can then continue up into test these Trinity phase 2 levels up here at 1.04815. And we could come and retest that, which would be a nice range for us to trade in. above this level is around about 70 pips, so that would be decent for us. So yeah, EU not too, yeah, not really focusing too much on buys or sells at the moment, but I would say most favorable would be, at the moment, would be sells below here. One 1.03053, 1.03053, 1.03053, right? 1.03053 below this level. So that is where I'll be looking at sales on EU. Just because we have had this long move to the upside and price has gone a little bit sideways. We are consolidating a little bit, and now we've started to break that structure to the downside, and we could potentially see, you know, a sell-off here coming in either today or Monday. But again, like I said, if we do get a break now above this level, above 1.04068, then it's potential that it's going to continue bullish here up until this level. You know what, let's just take a quick look at the weekly. So this is the weekly time frame here. You can see we are at this level over here, which is a level of, this is the key level right here from the weekly perspective, which is support and now potential resistance. We have made a bottom wick of around about 82 pips. So it could potentially continue bullish for the rest of today, come and fill that top wick maybe. Because we have now broke structure on the weekly, right? We've got lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And now we've completely broke out of this whole structure. And if we do potentially close above this level, which we are currently rejecting, as you can see, then there is potential for price to continue up next week. But focusing on today, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see here on Euro USD. I would be more comfortable with sales below 1.03053 than I would with buys, just because of the structure from the daily time frame and how it's formed, and how yesterday we did close bearish, and now we are potentially creating a top wick. We could come up and test in here again. We could even tap into this level and then reject bearish, right? Is what I think could potentially happen. And if it does break above this level, then that is then out of our hands, and we go again on Monday and we look for potential buys once these levels are broken. Moving on to USD CHF, this was a trade from yesterday. Again, looking at the weekly, what do we see? Respected previous highs, broke previous lows right here, right to the downside. Okay, so this big sell-off last week, and now we've gone sideways again on USD CHF, right? So we just quickly mark in those weekly levels, those previous weekly, right? We can see right here, boom. Price has more or less tapped it and rejected it a couple times here before continuing to the upside. We can see weekly low, right? So ideally, looking at the weekly time frame, you would expect sells, right? But if we again go and look at the weekly before we draw too much analysis on, let's have a look. This is the weekly time frame. You can see that price has come down into this previous weekly support right here and rejected. We have seen some reaction to this level, so we could see a more solid move to the upside at this point. Let's go to the daily. Let's have a look. You can see just clean, perfect rejection of that level, right? Boom, 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 and then volume. So we could continue back up at this point for the rest of the week. It is Friday, of course. So there's our weekly level. Now let's see where we can potentially take advantage of some buys. Obviously we have Trinity phase 1 right here, and we also have Trinity phase 2 down here, which has yet to be untested. And then you obviously see that we did again break above and retest Trinity phase 1 level yesterday and continued bullish. So I don't think this move is done. We've had the move up, we've had the pullback consolidation. So looking at daily, you can see now price was obviously bearish. You can see boom, and yeah, we respected highs, didn't break lows, but then we came down and break the lows, respected the highs, but did close bullish, as you can see with the green box around it. And then inside bar, and then yesterday we made a bottom wick and broke out of this downtrend. So looking at today, what do we have? We have daily phase 1, which would now be break of structure, right? Because now we have broke out and we are trending to the upside. And we have daily phase 2, which is where we can look for trend continuation, buys above this level to continue bullish with closures above. So already looking at this, it's clean buys for me above 0.95576, 0.95576, right? So this is where we're looking for buys above on USD CHF, because we have broken out of this consolidation now. We've broken structure to the upside. We've got this nice pullback that's currently happening, right? And now within the next half an hour, it will be London open, and we will see some volume come into the markets where we can look at these trades now with these buys with volume. Sorry, just doing the music. So yeah, that's USD CHF. So currently we have buys above on USD CHF, sells below on Euro USD, and buys above on GJ right here. So some analysis coming through right there. Now to gold. Let's take a look at gold. Now, just looking at, in the zoomed out picture right here, what do we see straight away? We can see that price was trending to the upside, of course, right? And now it's broke it. And now we are obviously trending short term right here to the downside, okay? On gold, we can obviously see that all this structure over here has been taken out. So we got higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then broken, retested, continuation sales, right? But if we do take a look at what happened yesterday, we can see this right here is obviously daily phase 1, break of structure, which we saw, right? And what happened? Daily phase 1, broken, retested, right at daily phase 1, break of structure, and then price continued to sell off below that level for 130 pips. So that was beautiful. Break of structure sells. Let's have a look at the weekly here on gold. We can see we have a weekly high right here, previous weekly high, which would indicate to us what? That price is bullish on the weekly, of course, because there's previous weekly high and we broke that previous weekly high to continue bullish, but then we have had the sell-off. But of course, going into next week, we can still say that gold is bullish unless if this finishes up our weekly low, and then obviously next week we come down and break that, then the bias would change obviously to sells, because we would be trading below previous weekly lows, respecting previous weekly highs, right? So we can see that for this week. We did have our weekly highs in here. Right. Beautiful. You can see we did play around this level a fair bit. Resistance, broke above it, broke below it, broke back above it, tested a support, continued support, and then broke below, and then kind of retested as well as resistance, as we can see. Also as that daily break of support, daily phase 1 level yesterday that we saw. And now we're trading below that previous weekly high with a retest. So really today I would be looking at more so sales on gold, right? 100%. We look at our Trinity phase levels. This will be Trinity phase 1, which again would be break of structure if we did break that, and then Trinity phase 2 up the top. So if we did draw out, if we did have our levels right here, we can see that we are testing currently on Trinity phase 1, that we've tapped, bounced off. We can see that perfectly. So again, today what I would be looking for is price to pop below this level now and continue the sell-off, right? Is what I would 100% be looking at on gold. If we take a look at daily levels, what is this music? I got my protein shake here, 1 second. Okay, I don't want that, it's too loud. So yeah, gold, we can see it is, we did have this level that we didn't break, so technically we haven't broke that structure to the downside with the Trinity phase levels. But looking at the daily, we can obviously see here was yesterday, daily phase 1, which we saw a break of, break of structure, daily phase 1, like I said, came back up, retested perfectly. So now we have broken that structure to the downside, because we can see if we look at the daily here, since the 10th of November, right, respected lows, broke highs, respected lows, broke highs, respected lows, broke highs, respected lows, broke highs. And then obviously we had this inside bar candle on Wednesday, and then yesterday we did just create a small top wick and then just sell off completely to break that structure to the downside. Whether that's a higher time frame pullback or whether it's going to continue bearish, we just have to wait and see. I don't like this, is too loud. I feel like that music's a little bit too loud, but anyway. So yeah, let's mark in our daily levels. We obviously have daily phase 1 now up top, which would be break of support, and we have daily phase 2 for trend continuation at this point. And we can mark that in as well. So we have 2 levels overlapping here now, which could be quite powerful, right? We can see that Trinity phase 1, daily phase 2. So that would indicate, right, if this was trend continuation, it would make perfect sense, because we are then continuing past daily phase 2, which would be trend continuation, and then would be breaking Trinity phase 1, which would be break of structure, right, on the higher time frames. So it makes a lot of sense that if price is going to continue down here, we'd wait for a break below this level, right? We'd wait for a closure below like this, and then we'd want this next candle to come break those lows and give us a nice trade here on gold. So what I would be looking for, we can see we're creating some kind of resistance right here now. So overall, I would be looking for sells below, right, this level right here, which would be 1753 315. 1753 315. 1753 315. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So yeah, that is our analysis on these four pairs. So let's run it back. Let's go over it. GJ buys. If you want to see the analysis, obviously you just go back in the video. GJ buys above 166.844. Euro USD sells below 1.03053. Let me just add my alert. USD CHF buys. Add alert above 0.95576. And gold sells below 173.315 at this point, right? So that is the analysis for today. Beautiful. Beautiful analysis. Clean levels. Where's daily phase? Daily phase 2. Yeah, so that is the analysis for today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's just do some content videos real quick while we wait. All right, just doing a quick TikTok video. Lying in the middle of my own. Let's see what is going on here. Nice. Okay. GJ is currently rejecting these daily phase 2 Trinity phase 1 levels. So this is nice. This is nice. This is a nice trend continuation move right here on GJ. So we're looking for a closure above 166.844 for buys. Okay. Time is almost up, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he is calling my name. So come on, baby, let's not play games. Euro USD, okay. USD CHF. Lovely, gold, cool. So GJ is being propped up by these levels at the moment. Let's see if they can hold. Let's see if they can hold. All right, guys, I'm going to end stream right there. Just going to wait for these trades. Obviously, GJ is looking decent for buys above. Price is pushing up, getting closure potentially. So I'll look to take that trade right there. USD coming down, maybe to retest in this Trinity phase level right here. Let's just mark that in. So we could come down for a retest at this level before we continue bullish. And gold, obviously we can come up into this weekly level again and reject before we turn bearish. But that is my analysis today. Those are my ideas. Let's go through it one more time. GJ buys above 166.844, which is looking pretty good. Coming into London Open in 3 minutes. Euro USD sells below 1.03053. USD CHF buys above 0.95576, and gold sells below 1753.315 would be my analysis and ideas for today. Focusing on a GJ, of course, coming up in the next potential hour or so. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who came through and you know, clicked on the stream, had a watch. Appreciate you guys. 1 second, looks like audio bitrate. Looks like something's on. We're good. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming through, and I will be live again on Monday, 1 hour before London market opens, for some pre-market analysis, some pre-market trade ideas.